What's up, arm wrestling lovers? Thought I'd make a video today about flexibility in arm wrestling. Now, I'm not going to say that flexibility is a bad thing. I think it's a great thing, and I do it a little bit, normally more leading up to competition when I'm really thinking about my health. I think that stretching is a healthy thing to do. I sometimes do it on practice days. When I don't have a lot of training going on, and I typically do it leading up to an event when I'm really focused on my health. I don't do a lot of flexibility training, but I do practice the art of tightness, which when it comes to flexibility in arm wrestling is the more important part of the range. Normally when you think of flexibility, you think of opening things to their fullest. Flexibility in arm wrestling, to be advantageous, you have the ability to get tighter than your opponent. The key places where I think that it really matters are in the wrist joint, the elbow joint, and the shoulder joint in terms of getting in tight. Some of us have different gifts and different advantages, but I think that all the ranges can be worked on a lot. You see the angle of your wrist. Some people have the ability to post really high. I don't really, but I do practice coming up a lot. This is going to really help the ability of your post. I think that probably the most important flexibility in the wrist is potentially in wrist flexion, so the ability to cup in. Just for your visibility, like my wrists are about the same. I can touch with my fifth finger. I can touch with my fourth finger very easily. And I can even touch with my third finger if I do a little thumb assist right there. Second finger I can't touch. But this ability to cup in further is going to let you get a person more spun up in your hook when you finally do set it, and you'll have the ability to set it deeper. Arm wrestlers get really wonky elbows. I can't straighten my arms even after multiple surgeries. That's about as straight as it goes. Is it bone? I don't think it necessarily is bone. I think it was initially before I had surgery, but then after I got all my bone cleaned out, it got right there again. So I think that there's a lot of tightness from different structures that makes you lose flexibility, as well as bony changes, but whatever. Anyways, but this opening flexibility isn't actually the big concern in arm wrestling. It's the ability to get close, right? So you should definitely be able to touch your shoulder, right? You want the ability to get close to your arm. Getting close to the arm really has a lot to do with pressing. It's got a lot of advantages, but I'd say pressing is probably the biggest one. If you can get close to your arm, you're going to have a much stronger press than if you're open up. The entrance into the press is going to be a lot easier as well if you can get close with your hand, with your fist to your shoulder. You see the difference between my right and my left. Harder to get close with my left. And I think that the last one, and this is probably the one that's the most noticeable with most guys who are really heavily muscled, not like me so much. Guys who have like larger centers, bigger chests, a lot of them have a hard time, just getting their elbows together. But this is really just where you start. You want to be able to really get behind it, tuck it inside your body. So this is a range, this is a tightness that you want to be able to do if you want to arm wrestle. All these things can be practiced, the tight part of your range. So always make sure you can get close, get closed, and get inside, right? Because in the sport of arm wrestling, it's not always about what you can move with your muscles. I think is that eccentric contraction? But it's what you can control on the negative portion. And the tighter and more locked up you can get, the harder it is to unlock you. So get tight, everybody.